Hello and welcome back to the Gaming 5. Now before you lambaste me for buying the Season Pass, I want to let you know that I put it to a Twitter vote on which Season Pass I should review. I'm your frontliner, the guy that takes the proverbial bullet of DLC purchases to find out if you should or shouldn't. This new DLC offers new maps that aren't new locations, but simply new maps in existing locations. They all look absolutely fantastic, which is a feat considering their actual locations would be considered boring aesthetically. One of them, though, is a very iconic location, even if it's missing the space bikini-clad lady normally laying here for your viewing pleasure. Fortunately, or unfortunately, the big ugly thing known as Jabba the Hutt finally makes a current-gen graphical appearance to offer you contracts. These contracts are used to unlock new DLC-specific weaponry. And finally, this DLC offers an additional mode known as Extraction. Then, from here, it's all downhill. You see, the biggest problem with this DLC is actually readily apparent. All of its modes are small player count. Some of you may like the lower player count, but I guarantee that a large portion of the Star Wars Battlefront population enjoyed the same things I did. When this DLC offers nothing that expands the awesomeness of this, or this DLC basically misses right over the primary allure of Star Wars Battlefront. Instead, these smaller maps and smaller player counts aim to appeal towards one very specific crowd, the Call of Duty one. These smaller maps bring the fighting into a very Call of Duty-like environment, but without the snappy fluidity of said game. Essentially, I was playing a far less enjoyable Call of Duty every time I was on these maps. If I wanted to just shoot at things, there are plenty of other options that are far more engaging. Add to that the Heroes vs. Villains mode, where you basically are destined to die if you're not playing as one of the heroes, even though there's two new ones, and I can't help but say my enjoyment was very limited. On the flip side, if you like Call of Duty and wanted a slower, more lasery version of it, then this new DLC is for you. However, the chances of that are slim. We both know it's the big landscape of large battles that made this game the enjoyable experience it was at its core. There have been quite a bit, and most of them were nerfs of specific weapons, none DLC related. Pulse rifles have lost a vast majority of their effectiveness, but on the flip side, the cycler rifle is actually usable now. Due to this game's online focus, the attempts at changes generally favored whining about OP weaponry, so if you haven't played in a while and you come back, be prepared to feel like you've lost a lot of effectiveness. I'm not so concerned with this balance, however, as I am the changes to the spawn system. I will note they attempted to fix it twice, and now it lies somewhere in between its launch algorithms and its failure algorithms that were spawning me right into laser fire. Generally, I found myself spawned reasonably, but a few times I was, indeed, thrown right into the same guy's face that killed me the life before. For me, as someone who sees Star Wars Battlefront as initially a good game that had its biggest flaw in content and not much else, this DLC is a total misstep. What made Star Wars Battlefront so enjoyable was being in battles that weren't like anything else out there right now, even if their influence was primarily based off of the Battlefield series. Walker Assault and Fighter Squadron are by and large accepted as the meat and potatoes experience, and this new DLC offers none of that. Instead, it takes the already boring modes, keeps their low player count, and puts you on Call of Duty style maps. If I wanted to play Call of Duty, I'd play Call of Duty. I come to Star Wars Battlefront for something different, not a slower, more sluggish version of the world's most popular online first-person shooter. So other than these maps still managing to look fantastic, including an iconic location and a big green-yellow blob monster, this DLC gets little right and completely misses what made this game such a joy to play in the first place. I give the Star Wars Battlefront Outer Rim DLC a 4 out of 10. That's it for today. See you next time on the Gaming 5.